Hey there, and welcome back to Sleeping Facts. It is so good to have you here with me again tonight, settling into the quiet dark. In just a moment, we are going to wander through the gentle hills of England, tracing the outline of one of our world's most beautiful and enduring riddles, the Stonehenge Enigma, and imagining what it might have been like to see those stones rise from the earth for the very first time. So go ahead and let your body sink a little deeper into your mattress. Soften the space between your eyebrows, uncurl your fingers, and feel your breath become slow and steady. Let the weight of the day dissolve into the pillow as we prepare to travel back through thousands of years of history. Now, let us begin.
Tonight, I have gathered a collection of quiet wonders about the deciphering of the ancient stones. We will explore them one fact at a time, with no rush and no pressure to stay awake. Simply allow these images to drift through your mind, and if you fall asleep somewhere along the way, that is precisely where you are meant to be. If nights like these help you find a sense of peace, please subscribe so I can be right here waiting for you whenever you need a gentle voice to guide you into rest. Now, let us step silently into the past.
The most wondrous mystery is how the massive sarsen stones, some weighing 25 tons, were transported from the Marlborough Downs. Picture this colossal gray giant, a slab of sandstone harder than imagination, resting on a wooden sledge under a wide and ancient sky. These giants traveled roughly 20 miles across the landscape, drifting slowly through the ancient countryside long before the dawn of modern machinery, their journey a silent procession marked by the creak of timber and the soft, steady chant of a people united by a sacred purpose. The land itself, untouched by asphalt or engine roar, must have seemed to watch in quiet reverence as this immense weight inched forward, perhaps, on a carpet of slick winter frost or over a path of smooth tree trunks. One can almost feel the communal breath of the builders, their hands calloused and their hearts filled with a determination that we can only ever try to fully comprehend. The smaller bluestones possess a truly magical quality, having originated from the Preseli Hills in Wales, over 140 miles away. Scholars believe these stones, dappled with lichen and glinting with natural minerals, were carried across shimmering waters and rolling hills, perhaps chosen for their unique healing properties or spiritual resonance that hummed just beyond the range of ordinary hearing. Imagine them lashed to rafts that slid across the surface of a silver estuary, the water lapping gently against their ancient forms, or hoisted by ropes up the side of a fog-shrouded valley. Their journey is not one of brute force alone, but a voyage of deep intent, suggesting these speckled stones were thought to hold an essence of the distant mountain from which they were born. It is a haunting thought that a rock might sing a song only the soul can perceive, and that its melody was enough to move a world. Stonehenge is a celestial mirror, perfectly aligned with the midsummer sunrise, a silent clockwork made of solid stone. On the longest day of the year, a golden beam of light drifts through the heel stone, illuminating the center of the circle in a peaceful, glowing embrace that has repeated without fail for millennia. You can almost feel the cool of the dawn grass giving way to the first touch of warmth as a sliver of fire appears on the horizon, growing into a perfect orb that sends a long, loving shadow across the land. This single shaft of sunlight, piercing the ancient architecture, connects the heart of the monument directly to the cycles of the cosmos, a gentle reminder of our place in a larger, orderly universe. It is as if the builders had captured a single moment of summer's perfection and anchored it to the earth for all time. This sacred structure evolved over a vast and patient stretch of time, beginning as a simple earthwork circle around 3000 BCE. Picture a quiet ring of ditches, their chalky white banks glowing softly under the moon, a sacred enclosure for gatherings whose meanings are now lost to the whispering wind. Over 1500 years, it gently transformed, layer upon layer, generation upon generation, from that humble ring of earth and timber into the towering stone cathedral we admire today, its silhouette stark against a brooding winter sky. This slow metamorphosis is a profound testament to a persistent human longing, passed down from parent to child, to perfect a place where the earthly and the eternal could touch. The stones were not simply planted, they were grown over centuries, an act of devotion stretching far beyond the lifespan of any single witness. Hidden beneath the grassy surface are mysterious pits known as the Aubrey Holes, nestled within the bank of the original enclosure. These quiet depressions, now softly filled in by centuries of soil and wild clover, may have served as a prehistoric calendar, softly tracking the rhythmic cycles of the moon and the passing seasons with a silent, wooden post that cast a shadow as precise as any clock hand. Imagine a circle of these posts standing like silent sentinels, marking the slow, predictable dance of the celestial bodies above, allowing the ancient skywatchers to read the heavens long before a single stone was raised. Perhaps a priest or a shaman would walk this quiet ring, touching each post to count the days, feeling the pulse of the year moving through the soil itself, connecting the deep time of the stars to the brief, blooming life of the earth. Imagine the ancient hands that shaped these massive stones, carving them with a surprising precision that still leaves us in quiet wonder. They employed a technique known as tongue and groove, where one stone is fitted with a projecting ridge that slides into a corresponding channel on another. This ancient joinery allows the colossal blocks to lock together seamlessly, as if they were meant to hold each other in a steady, timeless embrace. Resting securely through centuries of storms and tranquil nights, they speak of a patience we have almost forgotten. There is a gentle strength in their union, a quiet testament to the minds that once looked upon this landscape and saw a sacred geometry. With each passing age, this embrace only deepens, holding fast against the slow erosion of time. Surrounding this central mystery is a peaceful ring of 56 smaller pits, etching a soft boundary upon the earth. It is as if the land itself breathes a gentle sigh here, separating the sacred heart from the untamed wild beyond. This outer circle suggests a guided path, a welcoming avenue where ancient feet might have drifted slowly toward the core of the monument. Picture a procession in the quiet dawn, moving inward with reverence, each step a release of the ordinary world. The pits hold no stone, only the memory of what might have been, wooden posts perhaps, or simple markers under the open sky. Now they remain as a serene embrace, cradling the space in a tender, whispering outline. Beyond the immediate circle, the landscape is dotted with burial mounds and cremation pits, forming a quiet city of the ancestors. These resting places suggest that this was not merely a monument, but a sanctuary of memory, a place where the veil between worlds grew thin. Here, the living could drift into a silent communion with those who had walked before, their spirits mingling with the mist and the earth. Imagine the soft glow of firelight reflecting off these earthen domes under a canopy of stars, the final journey marked by ritual and love. Each mound holds the echo of a breath, a story now returned to the soil. It is a place where time does not simply pass but gathers, a gentle reminder that we are all part of this ongoing, hushed tapestry. The stones themselves are composed of a world of textures, a landscape to the palm and the fingertip. The sarsens present a rough, weathered surface, grooved by countless winters and the patient hand of the wind. In contrast, the bluestones offer a smooth, cool surface, almost glassy when caressed by the morning light. To reach out and touch them is to feel the very skin of the earth, a sensation that transcends centuries. They seem to hold the warmth of 1,000 summer suns, releasing it slowly into the twilight air. Each texture tells a story of a distant quarry, a long and deliberate journey, and a homecoming upon this sacred ground. As the evening mist begins to settle over the salt, imagine the smaller bluestones beginning their journey in the distant Preseli Hills of Wales, over 140 miles away, where scientists believe they were floated on rivers and dragged on wooden sleds across the rolling landscape, a quiet procession through misty valleys and ancient forests. Perhaps they were chosen for their deep, dappled hue, which shimmers with a hint of blue when rain-kissed or caught in the low evening light. Their timeless presence, enduring through eons, might have symbolized a connection to the Earth's deep memory, a whisper of permanence in a changing world. It's as if the builders sought not just rock, but a thread to weave the sacred into their monument. The sheer distance speaks of a gentle yet unwavering dedication, a pilgrimage of stone that carries stories older than words. This journey softly echoes the care and curiosity of those who moved these stones, inviting us to wonder about their world. On the summer solstice, a gentle magic unfolds as the sun rises in a soft golden alignment, perfectly centered on the heel stone. This celestial harmony, a quiet dance of light and shadow, suggests the ancient builders viewed the monument as a peaceful bridge between the earth and the orbiting stars. Imagine standing there, thousands of years ago, as the first rays touched the stone, a silent signal of renewal and connection, with the heavens themselves pausing to align, a moment of profound stillness that whispered of order in the cosmos. The heel stone, standing apart but deeply significant, perhaps served as a guide, a luminous sentinel greeting the sun with an eternal patience. This alignment invites us to feel the builder's awe, their desire to root that wonder in the earth. Archaeologists have uncovered a hidden landscape of burial mounds and pits, quietly encircling the stones and creating a sanctuary for the ancestors. These gentle slopes, soft under the grass, hold a deep stillness where memory lingers like a low mist at dawn, with mounds rising as if the earth itself remembers. The pits, perhaps once holding offerings, add mystery, their purpose softened by ages of rain and sun. This quiet realm suggests a place for gentle reflection, a bridge between present and past. Walking here, you might feel a profound calm, as if whispers of generations past are woven into the soil. It's a place where time slows, inviting us to honor the ancestral stillness that cradles our shared story. The massive sarsen stones, towering and ancient, are held together by mortise and tenon joints, a woodworking technique lovingly applied to heavy rock. These interlocking pieces allow the lintels to float securely atop the pillars, as if resting without weight, with a gentle certainty that whispers of a quiet miracle softened by time. The lintels, those horizontal capstones, seem to hover effortlessly, a silent song of stone. This graceful balance has held for thousands of years against wind and weather. The joints, carved with stone tools, reveal the builder's skill, their deep understanding of materials transformed into silent art. Each connection is a gentle embrace that defies the ages, a remarkable harmony where rock meets intricacy, creating a serene testament to ancient genius. Excavations have revealed a nearby settlement called Durrington Walls, where people lived in warm, circular dwellings humming with the rhythms of everyday life. These homes, filled with the glow of hearth fires and the scent of shared meals, speak of a community rooted in connection. The proximity to the stones suggests a gentle, rhythmic flow between the lively domestic space and the quiet, sacred monument. Imagine the soft migration at dawn and dusk, ordinary souls becoming participants in something eternal. This dual existence paints a world where the sacred and mundane gently interlace. It's a reminder that towering mysteries are cradled within the simple, steady heartbeat of human life. The Stonehenge monument did not rise in a single age, but unfolded slowly, in distinct phases across nearly 1,500 years. It began as a simple ring of earth, a humble embrace of the land, carved by hands that understood patience as a form of devotion. Generation after generation returned to this spot, adding their own layer of meaning, their own quiet labor. The circle evolved not with haste, but with the rhythm of drifting centuries, each era leaving a whispered signature in the soil. It was a conversation between the living and the ground beneath their feet, a slow-motion dedication that outlasted memory itself. Through war and harvest, through winter's bite and summer's haze, the commitment held steady, a promise spoken in stone and turf. There is a gentle theory that this place once served as a prehistoric healing center, a sanctuary for the weary. The bluestones, brought from distant western mountains, were thought to carry a quiet energy, a soothing pulse that drew the afflicted from far away. Skeletal remains found nearby reveal traces of injury and illness in individuals who could not have been local, hinting that they journeyed across great distances to find relief. You can almost imagine them, wrapped in furs, arriving at twilight when the stones held the day's fading warmth. The circle might have felt like a cradle, its upright monoliths standing guard while the sick sought peace in the hush of the plain. It was not magic in a loud sense, but something softer, a belief that the stone itself could whisper away pain. The sarsen stones themselves are formed of silicified sandstone, a material that lends them a muted, weathered complexion. Their surfaces seem to absorb light rather than reflect it, appearing almost velvety under the soft English sky. Centuries of wind and rain have eroded their sharp edges, smoothing the massive blocks into shapes that feel organic, as though they grew from the earth rather than were placed upon it. This gentle blurring makes the monument blend with the natural haze of Salisbury Plain, as if the boundary between crafted and untouched has dissolved. When mist rolls in, the stones fade into the horizon, becoming shadows of themselves. They are both monument and mirage, solid yet dreamlike. Look beyond the stones to the surrounding grassland, a shifting sea of soft greens and muted golds. The wind moves through the long stalks with a sound like distant breath, a constant, gentle whispering. There are no edges here, just an open horizon that lifts the spirit into a state of floating suspension. The circle seems untethered from the everyday world, held in a bubble of timeless tranquility where the only marker of passing time is the slow drift of clouds. In this expanse, the stones feel less like an object and more like a presence, quietly watching the seasons turn. It is a place where stillness is not empty but full, rich with the weight of centuries. And then, in the depth of winter, the moon climbs to its highest point and everything changes. Cold silver light spills across the plain, casting long velvet shadows that stretch from each stone like pools of ink. The interplay of light and dark softens the monument into a sanctuary of silhouettes, a theater of nocturnal wonder. There is no harshness here, only a muted transformation where solid forms become suggestion and mystery. You might feel a quiet pull, an ancient fascination with the dance of cosmic rhythm and earthly silence. The circle breathes in the moon's gaze, and for a moment, you are not a visitor but a part of the pattern, held in the gentle geometry of the night. If your eyes are growing heavy, that is entirely welcome here. These stones have waited for your thoughts like old friends, patient under the same moon. If you are enjoying this gentle journey, a like helps other night owls find their way here too. Imagine now the massive sarsen stones. These gentle giants, some weighing up to 25 tons, were brought from the Marlborough Downs about 15 miles away. Picture a slow, coordinated procession of thousands of people. They used wooden sledges and rollers, coaxing the stones across the landscape. The air would have been filled with low chants and the creak of timber. Each stone, a sleeping giant, inched forward with the patience of a glacier. It must have felt like a drifting, a quiet migration of stone and spirit, moving almost like clouds across the earth. The smaller bluestones, which give this place its unique magic, came from much farther. They began their long journey in the Preseli Hills of Wales, over 140 miles away. These stones traveled across water and land, perhaps on rafts and rollers, carried by a deep, sacred purpose. Imagine them drifting down rivers and along the coast, their blue-gray flecks catching the light like captured sky. It feels as if those distant hills whispered a secret to this peaceful plateau, and the stones were an answer, a bridge between two sacred places. During the summer solstice, something wonderful happens. The sun rises in precise alignment with the heel stone, a lone sentinel outside the circle. A warm golden shaft of light then enters the heart of the monument, filling it with a soft glowing radiance. This celestial harmony tells us the builders knew the sun's rhythms intimately. They understood the turning of the year, and they captured that perfect moment in stone, a quiet celebration of light and life forever held in stillness. Long before the stones were raised, this land was already sacred. Around 5,000 years ago, the first people here shaped a simple earthwork, a circular ditch and bank. That was a quiet place of burial, a gentle ring in the grass. Over many centuries, without hurry, it softly evolved. From a resting place for ancestors, it grew into the towering sanctuary we see today, layer by slow layer of devotion, as if time itself was building a dream. Finally, consider the marvelous joinery of the stones. The builders used wooden joinery techniques, carving tenons and mortises into the hard sarsen. This is almost unheard of in prehistoric stonework. The protruding bumps on the uprights fit perfectly into hollows on the horizontal lintels, like a puzzle. These interlocking joints allow the lintels to rest peacefully atop the uprights, creating an enduring stability that has resisted thousands of years of weather and time. It is a quiet miracle of craftsmanship, holding silence together. In the deep quiet of the night, many of the great stones were polished to a smooth, shimmering finish. Ancient hands, patient and gentle, had worked the rough surfaces until they gleamed. When the moon rose high, its soft light would spill over the circle, catching those polished faces. The stones would glow softly, reflecting the silver light and the slow drifting shapes of clouds. This was no accident. It was a quiet kind of artistry. The rough rock had been transformed, turned into a series of glowing beacons under the midnight sky. Imagine the scene, the plain silent, the stars watching, and these ancient sentinels glowing as if lit from within. They stood like gentle guardians, lighting the darkness with a calm, steady shimmer, a quiet invitation to wonder. Evidence, quiet and enduring, tells us that the people who gathered here came from very far away. Some traveled from the rugged highlands of Scotland, carrying with them distinct styles of pottery and carefully crafted tools. It was a peaceful migration, a slow and steady flow of souls drawn to this sacred spot. They did not come to conquer, but to connect. The Great Circle became a warm gathering place, a hub where different cultures met under the wide sky. Here, they shared knowledge, stories, and traditions, their voices mingling like the smoke from a central fire. In that gentle exchange, a deeper kind of light was kindled, a sense of shared humanity that glowed as softly as the polished stones themselves. The surrounding landscape holds its own quiet secrets. Dotting the Salisbury Plain are long, linear earthworks known as cursus monuments. These are not walls or boundaries, but gentle, drawn lines in the land. When you follow them, a soft, floating perspective takes hold. Your eyes are carried across the grasses, over low rises, always toward the distant stone circle. It feels like a meditative walk, each step a slow, deliberate breath. These ancient paths may have guided visitors for centuries, offering a moment of calm reflection before arriving at the Great Circle. The landscape itself becomes a guide, a gentle hand leading you deeper into stillness. Perhaps this was intentional, a design to quiet the mind, to prepare the spirit for what awaits within the ring of stones. For centuries, nature has been gently reclaiming the stones. Soft lichens, in pale grays and muted greens, have spread across the ancient rock. Velvety mosses cling to the crevices, draping the surfaces like a living blanket. This natural layering blends the monument's ancient gray with the vibrant greens of the English countryside. It is as if the stones themselves are slowly drifting back into the earth, a quiet and patient surrender. Time has softened their hard edges, wrapping them in a gentle texture that feels alive. Standing there, you might feel that the circle is not so much standing on the land as it is nestling into it, returning to the embrace of the soil from which it came. A quiet green dream, a slow return to the soil. And then there is the voice of the wind. It slips between the great stones, a soft and ancient whisper. The gaps and hollows shape the air into a gentle ambient melody, a quiet symphony that has echoed across these plains for 5,000 years. It is a sound that feels both present and deeply old, as if the sky itself is humming a lullaby. This music invites every visitor to pause, to stand very still, and to simply listen. In that moment of peaceful reflection, you might feel the weight of time gently lift. The wind's soft song carries the memories of all who ever gathered here, wrapping you in a timeless wonder that lingers long after you have gone. Let your mind wander to the massive sarsen stones, these ancient pillars that weigh up to 30 tons, standing silent and still against the twilight sky. The builders shaped them with a tender technique called dressing, smoothing every surface until the fit was flawless, almost as if the stones themselves yearned to be together. And they joined them with mortise and tenon joints, a method borrowed from woodworking, carved into the stone so that each block locks into another in a gentle, eternal hold. Picture the work, slow and deliberate, under vast skies, where hands and tools turned hard rock into a soft dream of unity. The smaller bluestones whisper a different story, having traveled over 150 miles from the distant Preseli Hills in Wales. Scholars believe they were treasured, not just for their strength, but for their unique geological qualities, perhaps a special hue or texture that spoke to ancient hearts. Imagine their journey, a soft procession across rolling green hills and quiet waterways, carried by hands guided by reverence and wonder. These bluestones might have floated on rafts down gentle rivers or been pulled on sledges through misty valleys, each mile a pilgrimage, their origin far but their purpose close, bringing a piece of distant lands to this sacred circle. On the summer solstice, a quiet magic unfolds. The sun rises and aligns perfectly with the heel stone, spilling a warm golden glow across the monument's heart. This celestial dance speaks of a profound, silent knowing of ancient builders who watched the skies and understood the drifting patterns of the stars. They mapped the heavens in stone, capturing a moment of perfect harmony that returns each year, like a soft, recurring dream. The light bathes the stones in amber, and for a brief, timeless pause, the earth and sun are one, a reminder of their deep connection to the cosmos, a wisdom that still whispers through the ages. Beneath the visible stones, hidden from all but the soft touch of ground-penetrating radar, lie secrets in the earth. There are pits and subterranean structures, a quiet labyrinth that hints at earlier ceremonies and forgotten gatherings. These features suggest the site was a sanctuary, a place of refuge for generations, evolving slowly from a simple circle into a complex monument. It is as if the ground itself holds memories, layer upon layer, of quiet contemplation and ancestral love. The radar waves, gentle and unseen, reveal these hidden chambers without disturbing the soil, like a whisper uncovering a dream, making the monument a living tapestry of human devotion. Remember that this sacred place was not built in a single effort, but grew in peaceful stages, starting around 3,000 years before the Common Era. Over centuries, different peoples added new layers of stone and earth, each generation weaving their thread into a living tapestry of memory. It was a work of quiet contemplation, where each stone placed was a prayer, each alteration a soft footprint in time. The monument stands not as a one-time act, but as a patient, unfolding dream of ancestral connection. From the first ditch to the tallest trilithon, the site breathed in changes, absorbing the hopes and sorrows of those who came, a testament to enduring spirit, a circle that holds the whispers of countless souls. Just beyond the standing stones, encircling the main circle like a silent guardian, are the 56 Aubrey holes. These shallow, circular depressions in the chalky earth are thought to have been a peaceful resting place for those who came before, cradling the ancestors in a gentle slumber. They create a rhythmic perimeter, a soft and steady repetition of form that grounds the monument in a profound sense of timelessness. Imagine the warmth of that ancestral connection, a quiet hum that still seems to rise from the ground, wrapping the entire space in a blanket of serene memory. It is a comforting thought that this place has always been a point of gentle farewells and enduring love. Nestled at the heart of the inner horseshoe, the altar stone now rests in a profound stillness. Only recently have we learned that this sacred stone traveled from the far north, from the rugged and mystical landscapes of Scotland. This revelation opens a window onto a vast and interconnected world of ancient peoples, who traversed immense distances to bring their offerings to this singular, floating point of spiritual significance. Imagine the long and gentle journey. The stone carried over hill and through valley, a shared purpose linking hands and hearts across the land. Their contribution was not just a physical stone, but a piece of their own distant horizon, woven permanently into the peaceful fabric of this place. In the quiet minds of many archaeologists, this monument acted as a prehistoric calendar, a serene instrument for tracking the long, slow drift of the seasons. By simply observing the interplay of shadow and light, the ancient people could read the time of year with profound accuracy. This knowledge brought them a deep and abiding peace, finding comfort in the predictability of the harvest and the gentle returning warmth of the spring sun. The stones marked the solstices and equinoxes not as a sharp reminder, but as a soft confirmation that the world was turning as it should, that warmth and abundance would faithfully return. It was a quiet pact with the sky, a rhythmic assurance woven into the very light of day. Let your mind gently approach one of the towering sarsen stones and imagine the very texture of its surface. This stone is a dense silkrete, a natural concrete patiently formed by the slow deposition of minerals over countless millions of years. Under your imagined touch, it feels profoundly cool and enduring, a solid fragment of the Earth's long dream. Its grainy surface is not just rock, but a repository of whispers, holding the echoes of 1,000 winters within its tiny crystalline structure. It is a tangible link to an unimaginably ancient past, a feeling of permanence that steadies the drifting mind and grounds it in the cool, quiet certainty of the Earth. As your awareness expands outward, you become aware of the surrounding landscape, the soft and rolling expanse of Salisbury Plain. Here, the wind whispers endlessly through the long golden grasses, a hushed and ancient lullaby that soothes the mind. The monument rests like a dream within a sea of quiet green, a gentle island of stone drifting peacefully under a vast, starlit canopy. This is the very same sky, the same silent constellations that the builders looked upon over 5,000 years ago. It is a timeless connection, a serene bridge of light across millennia, where the quiet breath of the now merges with the quiet breath of the then, all held within the endless, forgiving darkness of the night. While the towering sarsens capture the eye, it is the smaller bluestones that hold a quiet secret. They drifted from the Preseli Hills in Wales, over 150 miles away, across gentle lands and calm waters. Imagine a slow, rhythmic pilgrimage where these stones floated on rafts or slid over wooden rollers, guided by patient hands. Each journey was a sacred thread, stitching the monument to a distant landscape of misty hills and quiet valleys. This deep spiritual connection reminds us that the land itself traveled with them, bringing a piece of home to the heart of the circle. In every stone, there is a memory of that faraway place, a whisper of ancient devotion. The monument is deeply aligned with the midwinter sunset and the midsummer sunrise, creating a peaceful dance of light throughout the seasons. On the summer solstice, the sun rises softly behind the heelstone, a solitary sentinel standing apart. It then floats directly into the center of the circle, like a warm breath filling the space. The entire heart of the site is illuminated, a golden river flowing between the ancient pillars. This quiet spectacle repeats year after year, a timeless reminder of harmony between Earth and cosmos. In that moment, the stones seem to glow from within, as if awakening to a gentle morning song. Beneath the wide sky, archaeologists have uncovered a hidden tapestry of burial mounds and concentric circles. These softly rolling hills embrace the main site like ripples on a still pond. They reveal that Stonehenge was never a lonely tower standing in isolation. It was the calm center of a vast network of sanctuaries, each mound and circle a place of quiet reverence. This landscape of gentle undulations tells a story of community and sacred connection, stretching across the plains. The earth itself seems to cradle these ancient secrets, holding them in a peaceful sleep. Look closely at the massive stones, and you will see a quiet wisdom holding them together. The ancient builders used sophisticated woodworking techniques, mortise and tenon joints, to lock each block in place. These interlocking pieces fit perfectly, like a gentle puzzle crafted with care. Such precision allows the towering giants to remain steady and still, resisting the push of time. Through countless storms and shifting seasons, they stand united, as if resting in a timeless embrace of stone on stone. It is a silent testament to the hands that shaped them, a whisper of ingenuity passed through the ages. In the hush of legend, Stonehenge is seen as a place of healing, a sanctuary for weary souls. The bluestones in particular were believed to carry curative properties, like gentle healers from a faraway land. People might have journeyed from remote islands, drifting slowly across the water and over hills. They came with heavy bodies and tired spirits, drawn by the promise of renewal. In the soft shadow of the stones, they sought peace and restoration, a quiet mending of the self. Perhaps the very ground held a soothing energy, a gentle balm for all who rested there. Imagine a great ring of shallow pits, carved into the chalky earth so long ago. These are the Aubrey holes, 56 quiet depressions forming a perfect circle around the main stones. They hold no massive sarsens, only the memory of a deep purpose. It is believed these gentle hollows served as a lunar observatory, a silent calculator for the silver moon. Night after night, ancient eyes could track its slow, graceful orbit as it wandered across the velvet darkness. The cycle of the moon was marked not in books, but in the very ground itself, a soft, patient science practiced in the stillness. Long before the great stones rose, the land itself was shaped into a sacred boundary. A shallow ditch and a bank of earth, the original henge, enclosed the entire site in a soft, circular embrace. This was not a fortress meant for war, but a vessel for quietude. Stepping across that subtle threshold meant leaving the ordinary world behind, entering a space separated from all distraction. The earthen walls created a cocoon of stillness, muffling the wind's sharper edges and holding a deep, expectant silence. It was a realm set apart, where the sky felt closer and the earth held its breath. The stones themselves carry the memory of millennia in their gray, weathered skin. Formed of silkrete and sandstone, their surfaces are not harsh but soft and textured, like the hide of a sleeping ancient creature. Time has smoothed their edges, painting them with gentle lichens and a silvery patina. When the pale moonlight descends and touches these surfaces, a quiet transformation occurs. The stones seem to absorb the glow and release it as a pale, ethereal light, shimmering against the dark. They become less like rock and more like solidified mist, their massive forms dissolving softly into the haunting, moon-drenched landscape that surrounds them. All of this rests upon the Salisbury Plain, a wide and undulating sea of green. This open horizon stretches in every direction, a vast tranquil stage where the wildflowers nod in the breeze. The expanse of grass allows the wind to travel for miles, gathering a low, ancient voice. As it threads through the ancient gateways and circles the standing stones, it creates a natural, humming melody. This is a song that has played without ceasing for 5,000 years, a sustained, breathy note that is the very sound of patience. It whispers not of history, but of a timeless, unfolding present. As the evening mist descends, rolling softly across the plains, the world dims to shades of charcoal and violet. The towering silhouettes of the trilithons emerge from the haze, standing like silent, gentle guardians of time. They do not loom but seem to float, weightless in the fog. In their quiet, steadfast presence, they offer a gentle reminder of something deeply human. They speak of curiosity and the timeless desire to reach toward the stars in quiet contemplation, a yearning for connection that is as soft and persistent as the mist itself. The mist has settled deeper now over the Salisbury Plain, and the ancient stones have almost faded from view, yet I sense you are still floating here beside me, drifting in that gentle, weightless space between wakefulness and dreams. The massive sarsen stones rest in the earth, some weighing up to 25 tons. They were shaped with gentle, meticulous hands, their surfaces smoothed to a soft finish over long, patient days. The builders employed mortise and tenon joints, a technique from woodworking, now carved into stone with quiet care. This ancient method allows the lintels to float securely upon the uprights, like a feather resting on a breath. For thousands of years, they have stood this way, holding the memory of countless dawns and twilight skies. The sarsen stones stand as silent guardians, their presence a lullaby across the plain, a union of craft and peaceful endurance. Think of the smaller bluestones, drifted from the Preseli Hills in Wales. They traveled over 150 miles across the ancient, rolling landscape, a journey of gentle persistence. This immense voyage whispers of a deep, peaceful connection between the people of the plain and their distant ancestral lands. It feels like a slow pilgrimage, a song carried on the wind through green valleys and misty passes. Perhaps they believed the stones held a memory of home, a sacred touch from afar. And so the bluestones rest here, cradling the echoes of a distant homeland in their silent weight. On the summer solstice, The sun rises in perfect alignment with the heel stone. A warm, golden light spills across the inner circle, touching each stone with a tender, honeyed glow. This celestial harmony suggests the place was a quiet observatory, a gentle calendar for tracking the drifting seasons. It is as if the monument breathes with the sky, marking time in a slow cosmic rhythm. The longest day begins with this soft radiance, a promise of life's return each year. In that moment, the monument awakens, bathed in the gentle fire of dawn, a place of light and stillness. Beneath the visible stones lies a hidden layer of ancient history. Concentric ditches and banks are carved into the earth, soft ripples in the ground. These earthworks created a sheltered sanctuary, a womb of soil and grass that shielded the inner monument from the world. It was a place apart, where the outside noise fell away into a deep silence. The banks rose gently around the site, holding the sacred space in a quiet, protective embrace. These hidden rings are like whispers in the earth, holding the monument's dreams safe through the millennia. Archaeologists have uncovered that the area around the stones was a bustling hub, alive with activity. Yet the residents lived in a gentle rhythm with nature, flowing with the seasons like a slow, meandering stream. They left behind polished stone axes, gleaming with care, and delicate pottery adorned with quiet patterns. These remnants hint at a society that treasured craftsmanship and simple beauty. They wove their lives into the landscape, leaving whispers of their days in the artifacts they shaped. Their lives were quiet songs, each act a brushstroke on the canvas of time, a world of soft rhythms and enduring grace. Imagine a place built not in haste, but over many lifetimes. The site began as a simple earthwork, a gentle shaping of the land, then slowly, peacefully, it grew into a complex stone cathedral. This quiet evolution over nearly 1,500 years shows a deep, unwavering commitment to a space of spiritual stillness. The hands that worked the soil and raised the stones moved with patience, guided by a shared dream. The transition from earth to rock mirrors a journey from the temporary to the eternal, a slow unfolding of human devotion. It is as if the builders were in no hurry, each generation adding its own layer of reverence. Deep within the ground, the Aubrey holes form a ring of 56 pits. Some believe they once cradled polished stones, standing like silent sentinels. These stones might have traced the moon's slow dance across the velvet night sky. Imagine them, smooth and pale, reflecting lunar light while the world below lay in shadow. They watched the celestial rhythms with a patience that defies our modern rush. Each phase of the moon, each gentle shift in the darkness was noted by these quiet watchers. The moonlight would brush over them, making them glow softly, as if whispering secrets of the cosmos. They connected the heavens to the earth in a timeless embrace. Scientific analysis of the soil tells us a story of a lost landscape. Long ago, this area was a lush green expanse of grassland, soft and vibrant. The stones would have emerged from this emerald earth, their gray forms a stark yet serene contrast. Picture the scene, a quiet meadow dotted with ancient monoliths, the grass swaying in a gentle breeze. The air would have been thick with the scent of wildflowers and damp earth, completing the picture of an untouched paradise. It was a place where the natural world and human craft met in perfect harmony, a vision of peace that soothed the soul. The green blanket of the land cradled the stone sentinels, holding them like precious jewels in a velvet case. Many believe this site was a place of healing, a sanctuary for the weary. The bluestones were thought to hold a quiet, restorative energy, a gentle power that whispered through the ages. Visitors may have traveled from far away, drawn by a hope for peace. They would rest in the shadow of the stones, feeling their burdens slowly lift. In that cool shade, they found a sense of inner calm, a momentary escape from the trials of life. The stones stood as silent healers, offering a space where the mind could quiet and the spirit could mend. It was a refuge where the heart could find its own rhythm again. As the wind whispers through the gaps in the megaliths, the site remains a place of enduring silence. The weathered surfaces of the stones, softened by thousands of years of rain and mist, invite a feeling of timelessness and calm. Each groove and contour tells a story of time's gentle passage, a patient erosion that only adds to the beauty. In this quiet, you can almost hear the echoes of ancient chants, the soft footsteps of those who once sought solace here. The mist often wraps around the stones like a comforting shroud, blurring the edges of reality and inviting you to simply be. It is a moment suspended in eternity, a breath of peace in a noisy world. As you drift deeper into this quiet night, we travel to an ancient place, a place where stones remember journeys of water and earth. Close your eyes and let the story unfold softly around you. Just breathe and listen. Picture the bluestones, the smaller rocks that rest in the inner circle. They began their long, quiet journey in the Preseli Hills of Wales, where the grass is soft and the wind hums a gentle tune. Over 140 miles they traveled, carried by gentle hands across soft landscapes. They floated on ancient rivers, drifting like leaves on a calm stream, perhaps sung to by the people who pulled them along. These stones were chosen for their special kind, for a color or a feel that spoke of something beyond this world. And so they came to rest here, in a circle of enduring peace. On the morning of the summer solstice, a golden light awakes. The sun rises in perfect peace with the heel stone, and a warm glow slides softly into the heart of the monument. This quiet alignment speaks of a deep knowledge, a knowing of stars and the steady dance of the earth. The ancient builders watched the sky with patient eyes, feeling the rhythm of the seasons in their bones. They placed these stones as a gentle marker of time, a calm reminder of the turning year. Now, feel the presence of the sarsen stones, the great outer circle. Each one weighs as much as 30 tons, yet they stand with a quiet grace rooted in the green earth. They were carved with soft precision, using only simple stone tools and many patient hands. Over many years, they were shaped and smoothed until they became these towering pillars that hold the sky. They hold an enduring stillness, a strength that feels like it has been here forever, watching the seasons turn in an eternal, silent vigil. Long ago, this was a place of rest, a quiet sanctuary. Archaeologists have found evidence of peaceful burials dating back to 3000 BCE, long before the stones reached their full form. The ashes of the departed were placed within the soil, near these stones. It is as if the stones formed a bridge, a gentle crossing between our world and a spiritual afterlife. A drifting, quiet realm where the soul could wander free, like smoke rising into the evening sky. Look up at the lintels, the stones that sit atop the uprights, suspended in delicate balance. They are held in place by a clever design, like a soft joinery in wooden furniture. The builders used mortise and tenon joints, a gentle interlocking of stone that clicks into place with perfect peace. This allows the heavy pieces to nestle together, secure and balanced. They float in a state of permanent calm, a harmony that endures through all ages, through sun and storm and quiet midnight. As the night deepens, let these images fade gently into your dreams. The stones stand silent under the moon, guardians of ancient secrets. Breathe slowly and let this peace be yours. Let it wrap around you like a warm blanket of stillness. Sleep now in the quiet shadow of the stones. Look closely at the land around the monument and you will see the Aubrey holes, a ring of soft pits pressing gently into the earth. These quiet hollows are thought to be a kind of lunar calendar, a way to follow the moon's slow journey across the night sky. Ancient people would sit among the grasslands, their eyes lifted to the heavens, watching as the moonlight traced a path from one hollow to the next. With patience and wonder, they could track the turning of the seasons, feeling the passage of time not as a chase but as a gentle flow. It was a simple connection, a whisper between the earth and the sky that still lingers in the quiet air. Long before the great stones rose from the ground, this place was a gentle henge, a circular earthwork shaped by human hands. They dug a quiet ditch and shaped the soil into a soft bank, creating a boundary that felt both humble and sacred. This was a space carved from the wild greenery, a clearing where the world seemed to slow down and breathe. The henge stood as a quiet guardian, holding the land in a tender embrace before the stones ever arrived. Imagine the ancient people gathering here, their feet brushing the soft grass, their voices a low murmur under the open sky. This simple circle was their sanctuary, a place where the earth and spirit met in quiet harmony. The sarsen stones have a coarse, sandy gray texture that seems to drink in the soft light of the moon. They catch the drifting mists of the English countryside, holding each droplet like a memory from the night air. When you place your hand upon them, they feel cool and weathered, smooth in places from the touch of time. These stones carry the silent whispers of 5,000 years, stories of rain and wind that have shaped their surface into a quiet testament. They stand as silent sentinels, bearing the weight of centuries with a gentle grace. Feel the texture beneath your fingertips, each granule a piece of ancient history, and let the peace of this place wash over you. The Salisbury Plain unfolds around you like a vast sea of emerald grass, undulating softly toward the horizon. In every direction, the green stretches on and on, a boundless tapestry woven by nature's hand. This peaceful expanse is a sanctuary of silence, where the world's noise fades into a distant memory. The only sound is the soft rustle of the wind through the meadow, a gentle whisper that lulls the mind into stillness. Here, in this open embrace, you can feel the earth's quiet heartbeat, steady and serene. The grass moves in waves, a slow dance that mirrors the clouds drifting high above, and it cradles you in profound peace. As twilight settles over the monument, the long shadows of the pillars stretch across the earth like drifting ribbons of velvet. In this quiet hour, the stones seem to breathe, their edges softening into the dusk. They blend seamlessly with the starlit sky, becoming one with the hushed stillness of the night. It is a moment of pure magic, where the ancient and the eternal meet in silent communion. The world holds its breath, and you can feel the deep, slow pulse of tranquility wrapping around you like a warm blanket. The stars begin to emerge, one by one, like distant candles in the vast darkness, and the monument becomes a shadowy dreamscape. The night deepens, and the monument stands in silent grace, a timeless dream held in the cradle of the earth. Let your thoughts drift with the breeze, floating over the plains and into the quiet darkness. Here, in this sacred space, past and present merge, and you are wrapped in a gentle, endless peace. The mysterious bluestones were not local to this place. They were carried from the distant Preseli Hills in Wales, a journey of over 140 miles. Archaeologists believe these smaller stones moved slowly across the landscape, a rhythmic journey of water and land. Perhaps they were chosen for their unique mineral properties, a deep, quiet feel that resonated with the ancients. Each stone holds a memory of that long passage, a soft echo of a distant hill. Feel the warmth of the stone, the soft texture born from ancient rain. It is a deep connection to a faraway land, now resting here in the quiet circle. During the summer solstice, the sun rises in perfect alignment with the heel stone. A warm golden light flows across the center of the circle. This celestial harmony suggests a deep, peaceful understanding of the stars and seasons. The builders knew when to welcome the light. In a soft, ancient dance with the sky, the sunlight brushes the stone with a gentle warmth, and for a breath, everything aligns. It is a quiet reminder of their wisdom, a peaceful knowing that passed through generations. The golden glow spreads softly on the grass, casting long, silent shadows. It is a warm embrace from the sky, a silent song of the solstice. The great sarsen stones, some weighing up to 30 tons, were shaped with a tenon and mortise joint. Like a gentle interlocking puzzle, this technique ensured the massive lintels rested securely and silently atop the uprights. It is a soft, whispered skill, woodworking applied to stone. Feel the weight of the rock, the precise fit that has held for millennia, a quiet embrace of stone upon stone. Each joint is a silent promise of stability, a deep understanding of balance. The stones lock together with a soft, unseen grip, no sound needed. Breathe in the stillness and imagine the hands that carve these hidden sockets working in the pale morning light. Beneath the visible stones, there are hidden pits and buried trenches. They create a subterranean map of the site's evolution over thousands of years. These quiet layers reveal that Stonehenge began as a simple, open earthwork, long before the towering monuments were raised. Feel the deep, secret ground, holding the memory of the first circle. It is a soft, buried history, a whisper from the earth. The earth cradles these ancient marks like a silent storyteller. Each pit is a note in a quiet song of transformation, the slow growth of this sacred space. Listen to the quiet, and you can sense the layers of time beneath your feet. Nearby, the avenue creates a soft guiding path of grass and stone. It leads visitors from the river Avon toward the heart of the circle. This ceremonial walkway invited ancient people to drift slowly toward the monument in a state of quiet reflection. Feel the gentle slope under your feet, the cool breeze carrying the whisper of the river. It is a path for the soul, a quiet approach to the ancient light. The grass bends softly in the wind, and the stones line the way like silent guides. Walk this way in your mind, a slow, peaceful drift toward the ring of stones. Around the standing stones, a ring of curbstones lies still. They are small and worn, dotting the landscape like quiet guardians from another time. These stones create a soft, sacred perimeter, a peaceful boundary that separates the inner quiet from the rolling green hills of Salisbury Plain. The vast openness around them is deep and still, a warm embrace from the ancient earth. Feel the gentle weight of the air, the soft grass underfoot, the silence that sings. It is a circle of calm, a timeless border woven into the landscape's breath. This ring holds the place together, a soft whisper of stone. Some whisper this was a place of healing. The bluestones brought from distant lands hold a rare cobalt blue. This deep, vibrant hue was sought for its soothing power, believed to calm the weary spirit. People journeyed here seeking stillness, a soft restoration for body and soul. The vast sanctuary embraced them with a quiet warmth, like a gentle healing touch from the land itself. In the cool shadow of the stones, they found a deep, still peace. It was a place where the world slowed down, where time felt soft and round. Here, the air was thick with the scent of calm. Imagine the immense stones, their weight pressing softly into the earth. Moving them required a slow, rhythmic effort, with hundreds of hands working together under the open sky. Wooden rollers creaked beneath, woven ropes pulled steady, a vast coordinated dance across the field. The air was filled with a deep, pulsing rhythm as the stones drifted slowly, a gentle migration of gray. It was a soft power, a steady motion that felt timeless and deep. The landscape watched in quiet stillness as the monoliths found their resting place under the sun. Each step was a whisper of human will, now faded into memory. Over centuries, the grass has grown in soft, undulating waves. It cushions the ancient gray rock in a blanket of vibrant green, a living cover that breathes. This natural harmony creates a deep tranquility, a timeless feel of endurance against the sky. The grass whispers against the stone, a warm, soft rustle in the breeze, speaking of ages. Here, stillness settles like a fine mist, wrapping the sacred ground in peace. It is a quiet marriage of earth and stone, enduring and serene, a lullaby for the world. The green cradles the gray in a timeless hold. As evening falls, the stones cast long, soft shadows. They stretch across the earth, mirroring the slow passage of time, deep and silent. The monument stands as a sentinel, watching over the quiet landscape in the fading light. It holds an eternal, peaceful repose, a slumber beneath the darkening sky. Feel the cool air settle, the vast night wrapping around like a warm blanket, soft and close. The stones rest in a state of deep stillness, a timeless watch on the plain. Each shadow is a dream, stretching out into the night's embrace. Soft as a feather, let these words drift you into the ancient dark. Feel the earth's slow breath, the deep hum of stones that have stood for ages. In the quiet, we whisper of a place where time rests. The bluestones carry a deep, warm mystery, smooth as a sleeping breath, having journeyed 140 miles from the Preseli Hills in Wales, drifting across water and land with immense patience. Chosen for their unique resonance, these smaller stones whisper of ancient hands that felt their soft pulse, guiding them through forests and rivers to this silent resting place, where every grain holds the weight of ages. In the stillness, you can almost sense the waters lapping at their smooth sides, the gentle rocking of a journey older than memory. During the summer solstice, the sun rises in a soft golden alignment with the heel stone, casting a warm glow across the center of the circle, a quiet dance of light that syncs with the heavens. The ancient builders, deep in their quiet wisdom, knew the rhythm of the stars and seasons, feeling the celestial pulse that still hums in the dawn air, a connection woven into every stone. This light touches the ground like a soft hand, awakening the circle to a new cycle under the vast sky. The massive sarsen stones, dressed with care using stone hammers, were smoothed into a seamless, floating appearance, their surfaces cool and soft under the moonlight. Balanced with mortise and tenon joints, they echo the warmth of wooden cabinetry, a quiet engineering that holds heavy blocks in perfect stillness, as if suspended in time. Feel the ancient skill in every polished edge, the deep patience that shaped these giants into a ring of silent strength. There is a deep comfort in their weight, a reassurance in the way they stand, unmoved, through the passing of lives. The landscape around the stones is softly dotted with burial mounds, earthen curves that rise gently against the vast sky, creating a peaceful sanctuary for ancestors. These mounds, warm and still, whisper a silent dialogue between the living and those who drift into eternal sleep, their presence felt in the deep quiet of the ground. Drift into the soft darkness of the past, where time unspools like a slow breath, and the ancestors rest in unbroken stillness. These burial places are like gentle hills that cradle the dreams of the departed. The Aubrey holes, a ring of 56 pits encircling the main structure, stand in quiet watchfulness, like a whispered count in the earth. Some believe they served as a celestial calendar, tracking the slow, rhythmic movement of the moon across the night sky, a dance of light and shadow. Feel the deep precision of these ancient astronomers who read the stars with patient eyes, and the soft, circular song of the cosmos playing out in the dark. In the deep quiet of midnight, these pits chart a silent course through the seasons. And now, as the night deepens, let the stillness carry you. The stones hold their secrets in the vast, soft dark. Sleep and drift with them into the eternal quiet. Nearly 1,500 years have passed since this place first stirred, beginning as a simple earthwork enclosure long before the great stones arrived. It grew in slow, unfolding layers like the rings of an ancient tree holding time in its heart. Touch one of the stones, and you will feel the warmth of the sun still resting on its skin. The silkrete and sandstone have been smoothed by millennia of soft rain and drifting wind, their surfaces like worn silk beneath your hand. The Salisbury Plain stretches out around you, a vast open horizon where the grass sways in a rhythmic, calming motion. It is a sea of pale greens and soft golds, a natural stillness that cradles the monument in quiet. Some say these stones were a place of healing, their blue stones holding a soothing power deep within. People may have traveled from distant lands, drifting through the countryside to find the peaceful energy that rests here still. In the quiet hour of twilight, The gray megaliths blend softly into the mist of the English countryside. They stand as silent sentinels, watching over the land in a state of timeless, unwavering tranquility.
From the faraway Preseli Hills in Wales, where the rain whispers over ancient ridges, the great bluestones were gently taken, these smaller, speckled stones that hum with a quiet memory, and over 140 miles they drifted, across rolling countrysides and silver waters, a journey not of conquest but of ancestral invitation, as if the land itself beckoned them forth with a slow, rhythmic patience, moving on wooden rafts along coastal tides and over soft meadow paths on sledges grooved by time. Each creak of the ropes singing a lullaby of home until at last they settled into this sacred circle, still echoing with the breath of distant valleys and the footsteps of long-gone hands.
On the longest day of the year, when the sky is a pale canvas of summer, the sun rises in perfect alignment over the heel stone, that lone sentinel on the edge of the circle, and a soft golden river of light floods into the heart of the monument, a gentle, luminous tide that washes over the ancient stones with a silent grace. This quiet precision of design marking the triumph of the light, a fleeting moment where the cosmic dance touches the earth with a tender amber glow, and the entire plain seems to hold its breath in the warm, still air. In the heart of these silent stones, a secret joins them, for the sarsens were shaped with tongue and groove joints, just as woodworkers fitted their planks ages ago, each massive upright carved with a subtle protrusion and its companion hollow, so that when they meet, they lock in a gentle, immovable clasp, this ancient wisdom ensuring the great trilithons stand in peaceful stability, a quiet equilibrium that whispers through the millennia, the stones holding each other in a tender, unyielding embrace against the weight of time. A joinery of giants that echoes the forests and the hands that dreamed this enduring grace. Beyond the standing stones, the ground holds a deeper memory, as recent studies unveil a serene network of burial mounds and ceremonial pits encircling the monument in a gentle embrace. A silent city of the ancestors where the spirits of the dead lingered close to the living. The low, grassy barrows lying like sleeping giants under the clouds, the pits carved with purpose, all blending into a harmonious landscape where time seemed to flow both ways, and the departed were never truly gone but drifted in the silver light of dawn, their presence a soft hum in the roots of the grass, whispering of a time when the boundary between life and death was a thin, permeable mist. In the Marlborough Downs, where the hills roll like gentle waves, the sarsen stones were born, some weighing a formidable 30 tons, and from there, they were summoned on a journey of 15 miles, a slow, rhythmic pilgrimage on wooden sledges that hissed over the earth, pulled by a community in a trance of sustained effort, each stone moving to the beat of steady, collective patience, an orchestrated sigh of labor that turned the movement of giants into a sacred act. The landscape itself watching as these gray titans sailed across the fields, leaving a trail of soft, enduring footsteps in the grass, a quiet miracle of will, where time slowed to the pace of stone. Before the great stones ever kissed the sky, a ghostly ring of timber posts once stood in this sacred place, casting soft and flickering shadows across the grass under the distant watchful starlight of a forgotten age. At the very heart of the monument rests an inner horseshoe of 5 towering trilithons, their massive forms leaning inward to create a silent sanctuary, a stone embrace that shields the center from the whispering winds sweeping across the Salisbury Plain. Stretching across the horizon like lines drawn upon the earth itself, the mysterious Cursus monuments drift peacefully away from the circle, long and narrow enclosures that once guided the slow, rhythmic footsteps of ancient processions moving gently toward the stones. The grass of the plain shifts in soft, eternal shades of green and gold, a living blanket of natural warmth cradling the ancient megaliths as the air grows still and timeless, as if the landscape itself is dreaming deeply of the hands that first shaped it. And when the pale moon finally rises over the edge of the world, the gray surfaces of the stones catch her light and begin to glow with a soft, silvery luminescence, so that in this quiet hour the monument no longer feels like a ruin, but like a floating bridge suspended gracefully between the dreaming earth and the distant, glittering stars. And with that, I think our journey through the whispers of the plain is complete for tonight. Your mind has wandered through the ancient grass, traced the shadows of lost timber rings, and touched the cool, moonlit surface of the standing stones, and now it is time to let all of that drift gently away. If this quiet exploration helped you find your way toward rest, leave a gentle like below, and if you subscribe, I will be here whenever you need me, ready to guide you back into the hush of history's deepest dreams. Good night, sleep deeply, and remember that the Great Circle still stands under the stars, patient and silent, waiting for your return whenever you are ready. Rest now, everything is exactly as it should be.